Good evening, everybody. This is Dr. Troy Fullerton with Bilingual Barrier Busters. And tonight I want to talk about the stupidest thing I have ever heard in public education with regard to foreign languages. And that is this trend that's going on in a lot of states, far too many states, to do away with foreign language requirements for high school graduation, even for college track high school graduation, and instead to allow students to choose to take computer classes. I guess the thinking started by saying, well, it was the word language, I guess, that was being conflated because they talk about computer languages. And so people thought, well, computer languages, foreign languages, if they didn't know any better, they thought, what's the difference, or something. I don't know. Well, I'm going to tell you what the difference is. In the first place, when an individual studies and really gets into a foreign language, he learns a tremendous amount about his own language. When you learn how other languages work, you compare them to your own language, and that makes you acutely aware of how your own language works. And in other words, you wind up being able to speak, write, and use your own language to a much higher degree. Plus, if it's a language like Spanish, Spanish is based on Latin, there are a tremendous amount of Latin-based words in English that are some of our scholarly, more academic, more higher-level words, higher-level vocabulary that sends a lot of people to the dictionary to look them up. Yeah, well, a lot of times if you already speak Spanish, you can recognize those words on sight because they will be cognates for I'm talking about the English word, will be a cognate for an everyday Spanish word that you can't miss. Let me give you an example. The word church in Spanish is iglesia. Now, if you didn't know Spanish and you ran into a writing that talked about ecclesiastical affairs, you might wonder, what's ecclesiastical mean? But if you think, okay, iglesia, ecclesia, oh, maybe it has to do with church. Well, you'd be right. The other thing is, it opens up a curiosity about other cultures and builds bridges of communication to help an individual understand and appreciate people from other cultures as truly being human like they are. What's wrong with that? For all kinds of reasons, we need to reject this notion that studying computers is somehow the equivalent of studying a foreign language.